Good.
Take it away.
What was the science around the stadium music?
Yeah, so great question. The arena music is just an example of an environmental constraint. So one of the ways we use constraints in practice forces them to communicate verbally, non-verbally in different ways.
You said in 3 days you guys have made a lot of progress. What have you noticed so far?
Yeah, a lot of things just related to, I think number one is the practice culture in terms of being able to practice at such an intense pace where we're doing so many things in a very short amount of time. And I think really the ability to pick up and retain information. So a lot of the offensive and defensive principles of play, we've got, it's very simple what we've done, but it's simple done to a very high level. So it's been really encouraging to see.
What does a good practice look like to you?
Lots of mistakes, and the mistakes show us that learning's occurring. So for me, I think number one, it's the players being cool with the idea of making a mistake, which is where we're at now on day 3. They understand that it's part of the whole practice culture here at the Fire. And then seeing the retention of the principles of play. So it's things like a drive reaction in dominoes. Are we getting one of our cutting options? Are we taking high value shots that we're emphasizing? Are we creating advantages in pick and roll? So it's all of those things.
You're not walking into a culture that's already been established. You're setting the culture. What is that for you?
Huge. I think that was one of the most exciting parts about taking this job, just the opportunity to run an expansion team. We get to build the culture from day one and create the type of environment that we want here. So it's been huge, and I think just the whole vibes around practice, even you look at the photos our social media team are putting out, and I think there's an environment of joy that we've established here in 3 days, which is great to see.
Has anything surprised you?
I'd say the ability to move so fast and put so much in just 3 days. I think we've done maybe what I would expect it to do in 7 or 8 practices in 3.
You keep talking about the truncated timeline. Can you talk a little bit more about, you were not able to control how much time you have with this team. How are you dealing with that in such a short amount of time before the season starts?
Yeah, I think firstly coming from the NBA, this is actually a luxury because it's like 4 or 5 practices and then you play your first game. So I was looking the other day, it was like 19 days until the first game. I was like, wow, we are gonna be good. So I've done a lot of work just my whole career in much shorter time frames. So it's actually made me very adaptable and confident getting ready for this.
And are the players adapting as well?
Very, very much so. So you just see the best kind of sign of that is the terminology and how they communicate. And when you see on day 3 that they're starting to use our language and use the Fire terminology, that's really exciting.
What's it like learning from somebody else, just like how a WNBA player thinks and how to communicate with them?
Yeah, I mean, obviously having Sil is a huge asset. I think, and it's not just the bigs. Sil's not just working with the bigs; she's working with everyone, and that's the same for all our assistant coaches. But I think, just the perspective she provides is huge, and it could be something like a teaching point today on when you show or when you stay if they slip, and it's just details like that which are so important for our players.
You talk about Luisa's ability to stretch the floor so well.
Yeah, so absolutely. I think with a lot of our bigs, we do have a lot of stretchability, and I think that was intentional with how we put the roster together. And I think it allows us to do more unique things. So even last 2 days we've been putting in all our pick and roll cover solutions, and the fact we can stretch allows us to do so much more. So no, really great signs from Louisa in 3 days.
Have you seen any players step up as leaders so far?
Great question. I think Emily's really stood out to me in these first 3 days. I think just even things like during film, just making great points in practice, huddling the players up during player-led timeouts. And I think it's not just Em. I think everyone, we're trying to be intentional where we create a voice for everyone. So even things like 30-second timeout, player-led, coaches you can't speak. So things of that nature have been really cool to see more leadership emerge across the whole roster.
2 more.
What's your favorite thing you've seen so far?
Favorite thing so far? I would say the response to us doing things differently. Complete buy-in and players having a smile on their face as they go about the day. I want I want practice to be the best part of their day because it's not the same monotonous thing every time. So I'm so glad to see that everyone's genuinely enjoying it, and we want every player here to have a great time when they're here with the Fire and feel like they're learning. It's a professional environment, but we really care for them.
How are you adjusting to being first time head coach?
I'm loving it. So it's fun. I'd say it's my when I was head coaching last, it was like 4th division Italy. But obviously at this level, it's incredible. I just enjoy having to make so many decisions every day from the moment you wake up, and then just the interactions with the staff, the players. No, I'm really enjoying it.